Hi everyone and welcome to another Nature Diaries. So today we're actually in London and we're visiting the famous Stephanie Rowe, who you'll see shortly, but we're at a common in London called Barnes Common. So we're heading to a wetland centre and we want to see lots of like wetland birds and stuff. So we're going to bring you along with us and yeah, just going to have a nice little day at the wetland centre. So we're still en route to the wetland centre. We're getting pretty close now, and I don't know if you know, but there's kind of like a population in London of ring-necked parakeets that were released back in the day, and then they've kind of established here. So these beautiful bright green parakeet birds, and you can hear them squawking in the background, but they're not native, obviously, they're exotic birds. I'm hoping I might be able to film some for you, but I've only got my phone with me today, so it might be from a great distance. But they're very pretty. But I'm not entirely sure if they're like affecting the ecosystem negatively or not, or whether they've just kind of settled in here and they're not doing much damage. Stu will probably know. So apparently these ring-necked parakeets, they became established in the 1970s due to releases and escapes, but they're able to cope with the cool temperatures in the UK, and that's why they do so well here. And they eat fruits and things like that. And we've seen loads fly over so far. We've only been here for a few minutes. We're about to walk in now and pay to get in because there is a fee, which obviously goes towards keeping the site. But yeah, we're at the wetland centre. Let's have a little look around. Making friends with the geese. It's a really lovely place so far. It's really beautiful, lots of plants, lots of lakes and ponds, and so many different species of bird. And some of them are just really chill, just sat in the path, and obviously like you need to respect them, give them space, but they don't like run away or anything, so you can get some nice photos of them, etc. It'd be a really good place to do some bird surveys and like behavioural studies of the species and stuff. I'm sure that's probably what the Wetland Centre does here. But yeah, I'd recommend definitely come here. Steph's got herself a membership, and I think it's like £4 or £5 a month, and you can come as many times as you want, and then you can also go to any of the other sites under the company essentially, or the charity. So it's worth doing if you're in the area and you love your birds, or just enjoying a bit of local nature.
It's weird really, because we're not too far out of central London. It's a beautiful place. I'll just show you around. There's Steph and Laura. Loads of habitat here. So the centre itself, there's some captive birds, and then there's these big wetland areas which are amazing and thick with wildlife. Obviously, because this area is full of wild birds, you've got to look a bit harder to find them. But there's signs for like bitterns, you have that booming call during breeding season. And also it's just showing you that wetlands are really important, and in the UK we've lost about 90% of our wetlands, so it is a habitat that's significantly declining. We've reclaimed loads of them for building, but also agriculture, but they're a vital habitat and also a vital carbon store too.
So I won't be able to reel off the several bird species we've seen, but we have seen a swan, we've seen baby pike, we've seen a variety of dragonfly species, and there's just loads of birds here, so the wildlife here is really, really rich.
So like I said, wetlands are declining across the world, and there's a Ramsar Convention which highlighted this. But in the UK it's a particular problem, so like I said, about 90% of our wetlands have gone. Even sites like this are quite heavily managed, but they're managed with nature in mind. And it would be great to have a country where we restore these areas. It's not just benefiting the birds, it's benefiting the amphibians, the reptiles. We just saw a young pike in the water here, so fish species. We know this area will have water voles in it and stuff like that. So really, more nature would actually be greater in my opinion. We need more nature. We've come across a nice little area here, which is the pond zone, so there's lots of information about invasive species and pond life. It seems like school groups might come along and do some pond dipping here and stuff, which is really great. But interestingly enough, there's some information about lots of different invasive species. And when we think of invasive species, we know they're problems, we know they shouldn't be there, but actually they cost the global economy billions and billions of US dollars each year. They also have a massive impact on biodiversity, so they can outcompete native species, occupy nesting sites and roosts, but also spread disease and predate on native species too. Then also in terms of economic damage, they can damage structures, so if you think of Japanese knotweed, they can break up roads and stuff. They can clog rivers and cause increased flooding, so lots of invasive plants can do that.
So we've come to the end of our Wetland Centre walk and we're about to leave, so I'm going to end the video here, but it's not over yet. So you'll find the next Nature Diaries coming soon, and we're going to go and explore Bushy Park, which apparently is beautiful woodland near Steph's house. It's got things like deer in it, so hopefully we might see something. So stay tuned for that. If you really love birds, I've actually got a bird behaviour event coming up. So if you want to join that, head on over to Eventbrite. And you can join that and learn about bird behaviour. But I've also put the link in the description. We've also got an online conference in February, so if you want to join us for a full day of a variety of talks from different people, make sure to go and check that out on Eventbrite. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.